your girl, Simona Lisa, the comedian, here on Heard in the D. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of those platforms under Simona Lisa. And we got my co-host,
J Reed 313.
Where the energy?
It's right there. That was it. That was me. That was super hype.
I'm on
That was
them, y'all.
crazy. That was me flying through the roof.
That was
right
crazy?
There. Yeah, that was wow. I was Tom Cruise jumping on Oprah's couch right there. That was crazy.
I'm sorry, carry on with your intro.
Definitely. J Reed 313. You can catch me on all social media like her. Probably not as popular as her, but you know, I'm working my way up. But now we got, you know, politics. It's that time.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to hear about it. We got a little bit longer before the election, you know.
Election November 5th, 6th.
I know it's a Scorpio election as usual.
First Tuesday
in November.
November, right, yeah. So we have Kamala picked her vice presidential candidate. We all kind of figured out it was going to obviously be
Walz.
Caucasian male.
Democratic ticket is set.
We are the underdogs in this race, but we have the momentum.
Vice President Harris here in Philadelphia for the first time side by side with her newly revealed running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
In 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States.
Which,
you said it. Strong energy.
Right, kind of balances her ticket out, and, you know, it kind of fills all the gaps that some people might have had about her or whatever. And from what I gather, he seems to be like a man of the people. He seems to be really progressive.
He was a military master sergeant.
Right.
He was a high school teacher, a football coach, a congressman, and a governor. I'm sorry.
Right, and I like the fact that he seems to be very forward, and he seems like that he's going to bring the energy, and he's already, you know, going against the vice presidential candidate from Bush or whatever, J.D. Vance or whatever his name is, and he's already challenged him to a debate. He basically came in, you know, ready for action. He came ready for it.
He's not going to be a silent vice president. We can see that.
Definitely, he's going to put his
he
best foot
he has a voice and opinions, and he's not afraid to voice them.
Yeah, and adding him to the ticket, because, you know, she has so many options and choices that we had mentioned before, and I really like it. I like his energy. I like what he's talking about. I like how they look together. I think they look compatible. They seem to be able to work together, which is something that you want to be able to do with your vice president. Obviously, we see what happened with Trump. His last vice president won't even vote for him in this election, so that just tells you how they work.
And between me and my former running mate, I cannot endorse President Trump's continuing assertion that I should have set aside my oath to support and defend the Constitution.
So
that's like you're not a vegetarian, but you work at Burger King on eating under the food. I don't want to eat it either.
Exactly. So when we think about it, this election is shaping up to be one for the ages. Like, I can't remember the last time we really went into election and we didn't have a clear-cut favorite, right? Like, this is like the first time in a long time where, you know,
she came in, and now it's like she's kind of pulling at our heartstrings, and she's on her way to being the favorite. Beyonce's in her corner with $4 million donated. I mean, if that don't sway a lot of votes, what will?
Yeah.
Beyonce? Who has ever had Beyonce?
Yeah, you're right. And I'm pretty sure. I think they said she might perform at the Democratic convention too. I think.
Other than the Obamas, you know, she did.
Right.
Didn't she sing?
I think she's the song.
That last song.
Yeah.
But even without Beyonce's $4 million, Harrison Walz has raised $36 million in 24 hours by themselves.
Donations poured in at an average of $3 million an hour right after Tim Walz was named to the ticket. As of today, the Harris-Walz campaign has raised $36 million and counting since he joined the ticket.
So this campaign is really moving, and you have been spot on with most of it because you said he wouldn't want a debater.
Right.
But we're going to see what happens in September because I'm still kind of feeling what you said, that he's not going to do it. So I don't believe he's going to show up, but we'll see what happens in September. We'll see if they actually do get to debate.
Exactly.
September 10th.
Right. The thing is, like, now it's like crunch time. We into maybe the final last 6-8 weeks or something like that or whatever. It's really the time for people to get involved. And when we look at what Trump is doing, Trump is like he's swaying. He almost like a boxer that's took a couple punches or whatever, and they almost
he's stunned. He shook
because he don't really. like his whole strategy, his whole
He
plan.
been quiet.
It's like one campaign I see him saying that, oh, she's soft on crime, but then the next one, the campaign ad say, oh, she's too hard on crime, and she put away this many people, that many. It's like it basically, like you said, it put everything in disarray.
But you got to understand, Trump is still the same president where his first go round, him and his wife's speeches, who were duplicate to the Obamas.
Hilarious.
So it's not him that's in a disarray. It's his whole team, because he has a team of people that is responsible for the production of
right. And then
his craziness. But I ain't want to say it.
Right. The part I like is that everywhere it seems like Trump and J.D. Vance or whatever, where they've been campaigning, we've had Harris and Walz come right, like a day or two right behind them, or even some places the same day or whatever, and they're campaigning. When you look at the crowds and like the capacity,
15,000
like,
when they came here to Michigan.
Trump and all them, you'll see it as like they have blackout like the top part, so you can't just see it's all empty. And, you know, numbers speak volumes, and it's battleground states they're going to. They came to Michigan. I think they might have been in Pennsylvania or somewhere else.
And here in Michigan, 15,000 turned up.
He told me that his team witnessed a crowd of many thousands that filled the large hangar where she was. There were 2 risers. The crowd spilled out onto a sprawling tarmac where Air Force Two, and you see it there, came to a stop. 2 large risers were outside, Jeff said, along with rows and rows of chairs, several giant screens for the outdoor crowd to see what was on the rally stage. And of course, we shot our own video from the event, which you're looking at now.
And it didn't have to be all of that show with all the rappers. And I mean, she just really has a following and a support system here.
Yeah, it's a crazy place to think that if we'd have thought maybe, 6 months ago, that we'd be electing a woman of color to be president of the United States, and that she would really not even just have a chance, but has a very, very good chance. So it tells you how far we've come in such a short time.
I mean, just with everything that we've seen in the Olympics, I believe that this is the year for change. This is the year for records to be broken, because a lot of them have been broken in the Olympics. So this our year. This that year.
Definitely. It's a crazy year in politics and just the world in general. And it seems like people are more accepting. Honestly, I can tell you, when I was the first person to say, I was like, I didn't really know how this was going to work out for her. It was so last minute with, her jumping into the race with Biden ball. And have we ever seen that before? I don't think we've ever had that happen before, where the incumbent president in his re-election bid or whatever just drops out in July, August.
So she's actually acting president right now, running to be the president next year.
Yeah, because, I mean,
technically, she is the first black president, however you want to put it, because he's done and she's here until November or thereafter when it's over. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, because if you're, maybe not
You mean, yeah, I'm right. Not yeah, I'm wrong.
Right. If you're physically capable of not, running for president, how can you actually be the president, right?
That's what but he right now is still
the president.
Because whatever condition he has is going to wait till this is over,
right,
to fully progress. So
exactly. They can only roll out that clone so many times before we figure it out.
Some of those videos that I be saying on social media do look really accurate. It be looking like droopy eyes and like glitching. Like right. I'm like, wait, did she glitch? It be a lot.
Exactly. Every time I see her, I'm like, why is his ear looking like that? We got a fade this week. How did his hair grow so long in one day? I don't know, but we won't have to worry about that much longer.
It's almost over. But what I am surprised about is a Michigander himself, Judge Joe Brown, opposing our first black female president.
How you feel about Trump calling Kamala Harris above?
She is. She's one of those career prosecutors that suffers from character deficits. She's one of these people that has absolutely no connection with what the hell was going on. She wasn't a student at a time when there were opportunities, but she could have made some to go out and made a difference in her community.
It's crazy because it almost feels personal with Judge Joe Brown. Because
like, did they used to date? Maybe,
because attacks they're not necessarily even political attacks about her agenda or what she's bringing forward. It's all personal attacks about old stuff, about her dating history and stuff like that. Who didn't date when they was 35, 36, 40 years
Now
old?
we don't want to talk about Trump's past endeavors, slapping women on come on now.
Exactly. So yeah, she dated Montel Williams or whatever. Maybe allegedly dated Willie Brown, I think it was, mayor of San Francisco. Who the fuck was she supposed to date? Somebody working at a grocery store or some shit? Those are successful men. Like, of course you should date somebody like that. And we've all dated people, and there's a couple that we wanted to tuck back in the closet too. Like, probably shouldn't have dated that
Examples. Examples.
Exactly.
Of what I should never do again.
Exactly. So I find it, one of the things that we as African American people of color, however you want to say it, is like, I feel like times like this is times when we should be pushing her up and supporting
and
each
helping,
other.
even if it was some indiscretions. Come on now, look at who she's going up against.
Right, like you can't.
Is what you yapping about really worse than what he's done and is still doing and has plans on doing?
Right.
Come on now, you could have kept that. But I love me some Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown is definitely that.
Ain't nobody spot a crackhead like him.
He definitely that old black guy sitting on the porch just yelling at everybody walking down the street. He's reached that level, that age where it's like everything I feel like just pisses him off. Because every few years you hear him just come out just with a rant. You're like, well, where the hell did that come from? And why did it come? And what is it all about? But
he was a judge, so it's kind of hard to turn it off. He just want to keep judging, and I mean that's how that goes. And
right.
He even as a judge, I thought he was a little harsh sometimes. You a crackhead? I know. I'm like, why is you calling people crackheads?
Well, yeah. But I think the thing that it kind of probably helps her or whatever, because at the end of the day it's like, all right, so this is the best y'all got. This is the best you can come up with. An old TV judge trying to figure out some stuff that might have happened 30 years ago or whatever has absolutely nothing to do with her campaign right now. So I feel like, this is one of their best shots. And then with him even saying that, where's his vitriol for Trump? Where's all that? Do you want to go down Trump's whole history of his personal life?
Because at this point, if you are against Kamala, then you got to be for Trump. So, Judge, you want to tell us something?
Right, exactly. Are you in that pocketbook?
So who should we vote for if not her?
Exactly. Are you in the pocketbook of people that Trump is paying? Because obviously he's paying a lot of African American people to come out and support him or diss Kamala, and it's like, it's
crabs in the barrel is getting ridiculous.
Right, it's blatant and clear. Whatever. This is just like something that they're putting out or whatever. His whole campaign, because it's ridiculous. Because I mean, where was all this for Joe Biden? Nobody ever came out and said, "Oh, well, Joe Biden in third grade, he was dating this." Nobody said that. Nobody cared.
He had 2.8 girlfriends.
Exactly. So we'll get over it and we'll get through it.
And we all know the presidents are perfect. Like, look at Clinton.
Exactly. Every single president we've ever had has always been married since the age of 18. They've never smoked weed or done coke like George
If anything,
Bush.
they just inhaled.
Exactly. They
did. I mean, they just puffed. They didn't inhale.
They never cheated on their wives in the White House like JFK Jr. They never lied like Richard Nixon.
Not saying that we should excuse any of her faults because she's in a situation full of people with flaws. I'm just saying, come on now. Given who we have to vote, if it's not her, what's your objective here? Like, what are you trying to gain by putting her down? It's like the only other thing you could be doing is pushing people for Trump. Right. So if that's not your intention, just stay cute and keep it mute, please and thank you.
There you go. I think a person's character is like a sum of their experiences in life. So we all had experiences, good, bad, and indifferent. So that's just part of who's made her who she is today. And I feel like, we can't just judge somebody for something that we might have not accepted. And even the things that they're saying is like, it's not really even that bad. Like, it's nothing criminal. Like,
well, y'all saw the video. Y'all can come to your own conclusions. On election day, make the decision that's best for you.
Exactly. And that's what politics is always about, is making the best decision for you when you get in that voting booth.
Until then, we'll try to keep you up to date. But like I said, this is the year for us to break some records, and I do not care what nobody say. The GOAT of the Olympics this year, like 100% the real GOAT, the one that blew us all away, took us all by storm. Y'all already know who it is. Rachel Gunn.
Being able to move your body to convey a message, to get something across.
I'm telling y'all, Ray Gunn, which is her nickname, she blew us all away. She took us all by storm. And yes, she did break records, because I do not think anyone in the Olympics has ever had a score of 0.
She lost in her medal round. She lost in her round 54-0, which seems almost impossible to do, because it's basically saying you didn't even score a single point or a single anything.
Record-breaking performance you did there, young lady.
Exactly.
And the crazy part is, the Olympics, in order for you to go in your field of competition, you would have had to beat out the rest. So I want y'all to know that what we received in that video was the best that Australia had to offer.
The best.
That was the creme de la creme. The best of the best. It don't get no better than that. So, I mean, if you want to just serve somebody like old school, go to Australia. You will win every time. You can serve everybody there. Boom, boom. But won't nobody be able to get you. Nobody.
Exactly. I mean, it gives hope to everybody in the whole world that you can possibly make the Olympics. I mean, that was a performance that went international, global. I'm pretty sure it's aliens somewhere on Mars right now looking and laughing at that, because that had to be something. It was inspirational, all at the same.
It was something, like you said.
Meme worthy.
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was a meme. I thought that's all it was. I'm like, this is not real, because how long has breakdancing been in the Olympics?
This is the first year they just.
I thought so. So every time they add something new, like next year when they add spaghetti making, I'm in it.
There you go.
Every time they add something new to the Olympics, I'm gonna try it, because why not? If she could do it, I'm a Ray Gun the mess out of this. But for real though, y'all know I gotta talk about my baby. I really love this young lady. I've always been a fan of her ever since she was running with her different color wigs on. She done switched up with the braids. Sha'Carri Richardson.
Definitely.
You deserve all the flowers.
Yes.
You deserve all the gold that you received. And just continue to be you. Because that's like the best part of watching you.
It's probably one of the greatest comeback stories in Olympic history. Like, you know, a few years ago, I think it was 2021 Olympics that got pushed back. She got disqualified for having marijuana in her system. And she didn't go to, at the time, she was the world's fastest woman, I think, if not the fastest, definitely in the competition to be the fastest.
I think she was one of 6.
Right. So, and they just wouldn't let her go. And, you know, a lot of times when people have mistakes in their life, they don't necessarily always come back from them. She kept her nose to the ground, kept working, kept running. A lot of people, you know, a lot of times we just get caught up in Olympic years, but if you followed her career, you notice that every year she's gotten better, she's gotten faster.
Oh, now she is the fastest.
Right.
Before, those Jamaicans overwhelmed her.
Yeah.
But now,
she's the one.
She finishing with signature moves. Like, they have like a whole group of videos dedicated to her finishing, because I think in one of them she looked over and then kept going. She does some spectacular stuff while and before she crosses that finish line. So that's why I say I just love her being herself.
Right. She definitely owned the moment, gave a performance of a lifetime, because if you watched it, she was like in 4th place when she got the baton and she was the final leg. So if she don't come out and just win the race, the United States don't win the gold medal. So it's attributed to her. It was like,
and even the spectator said it. No one passes Sha'Carri Richardson.
Right. So shout out to her, and you know, shout out to her, like you said, being an individual that she is, because a lot of times, you know, when you get corporate America trying to come down onto you and trying to tell you to don't wear the nails and don't wear the weaves and don't wear the hair, but that's true to who she is. So we got to respect that. And, you know, performance pays the bills. So besides winning the gold medal, I guarantee you, If she didn't already have a big Nike contract, she definitely had one waiting. If she didn't have a bunch of sponsors and endorsements, she had them. She made a lot of money with this Olympics, and you just gotta love it for, you know, little small girl that she is. A lot of people doubted her, and she proved all her doubters wrong. Gotta give a big shout out to her.
Yeah. And shout out to Simone Biles. I see that her mom is trying to be a Shaq dad.
What's up, you guys? So today we're talking about Simone Biles and the strained relationship she has with her biological mother, Shannon Biles. And as you might know, Shannon, her mother, has struggled with addiction and had to make the difficult decision to give Simone and her siblings up when Simone was just a toddler. And so now, years later, Shannon is asking for Simone's forgiveness as Shannon continues to work at Save-A-Lot, and Simone is one of the greatest gymnasts to ever do it.
Like, I didn't even think that as women we did that. So what's happening is, and I don't want to make light of it because I don't know how difficult this situation is for Simone, and I love her and her triumphs during the Olympics. But now that everything is what it is, she has her mom, her biological mom, looking to come back into her life. And, I mean, you've had her number this whole time. She even said it in the interview, like, I've got her number, but I'm waiting on her to call me. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, when parents and children have situations like that, I always revert back to something I heard a long time ago. From day one, you were the parent, and that was always the child. So parents should be a little bit wiser, a little bit more giving. Parents make mistakes. From what I gather, her mom made mistakes in life, and she
was on drugs and couldn't take care of her kids.
Take care of her, but at the end of the day, you're a parent. Like, this is before she's Simone Biles, the GOAT of gymnastics. This is before this or whatever, that you should reach out and you should make that bridge, and you should make sure that child knows that you're a part of their life.
She even got married and everything. And it's like, now you're not even talking. That's the craziness. You're not going to the family. You're not calling Simone, even though you've stressed that you have her number. You going to TV and cutting deals to share your side of the story. That's the only reason why I called you a Shaq dad, ma'am. Yeah. Because Mrs. Biles, because what you're doing is a little asinine. But do what makes you happy. I wouldn't do it that way. It don't seem like you've changed much, but hey, it is what it is.
Hopefully, like with a little counseling and maybe like forgiving hearts in this situation, that they can reach some kind of like medium or like some kind of middle.
You're trying to reach your daughter through a TV interview when you got her number.
Yeah, it's tough, but at the end of the day, we always want families to come together, especially black families. I mean, that's how I am. I feel like black families, we've been through so much in this country, been torn apart, torn down. Like you said, it was probably a drug problem, and we know how the drugs got into our neighborhoods. We didn't have boats. We didn't have planes.
She was on drugs.
Right.
My only question is, if your daughter wasn't who she was in the Olympics, how would you have tried to reach out to her then? Not with TMZ, I'm sure, because they wouldn't have wanted to interview you. Right. So you're using this situation for your own 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. You didn't want to be known as her mother when it was time to raise her.
Facts.
But now that she in the Olympics and she done won all these medals and broke all these records, all of a sudden, you got a story to tell, and you want to get on TV and tell it. Right. You don't want to call your daughter. You want to get up. Now you know that's going to hinder the relationship. If it was ever about the relationship, you would have reached out to your child directly. You would not want her to see this through a host of television shows and social media posts.
Definitely. Well,
but
hopefully it gets better.
On a brighter, I don't know if it's brighter, Noah Lyles, he runs the 200 meter. Yeah. With COVID.
Yeah. American sprint star Noah Lyles earned a bronze in the men's 200-meter final at the Paris Olympics 2 days after testing positive for COVID-19. Lyles fell to the track shortly after crossing the finish line and was helped off the field of play in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that was a crazy situation. Like a few days before he won the 100-meter, he won a gold medal, and he runs a 200-meter with COVID, and I guess he collapses at the finish line after he ran the race, which part of me says, like, because he tested positive for COVID earlier, so he actually knew he had COVID. I get that you want to run a race. I get that it's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. But also I get the safety of yourself and your competitors.
He should run a record, because who else did that?
Right.
This the year of breaking records. A record has been broken. Now the next person that do that got to have COVID. Not give him COVID. Let him run the run.
Yeah, he definitely.
If you ain't running the runs with COVID, something wrong. You ain't winning.
Right.
That should have gave him extra points.
You only get a gold medal.
A bronze.
Oh, you want a bronze? Oh, well, I mean, how many people have actually can say they had COVID, a debilitating virus like that, and they still were able to perform? I mean, hopefully the best for him. I mean, he actually is probably one of the world's greatest sprinters right now. So shout out to him for still competing. I mean, I compare it a little bit to the Jordan flu game, where he probably wasn't in his best shape and his best condition, but he performed anyway. These are what Olympic athletes do. Like, these are people who train their whole life. I mean, it's track competitions every year, all year round, the world championships, but nothing is the Olympics. So I can understand why he didn't want to miss the moment. And he gave his best, and the funny part is the 200 is actually his best sport. Yeah, so.
Well, I'm proud of him, and I believe he should win.
He should get an extra medal.
He should definitely get an award for breaking a record, because it has never been done before. When you do something that's never been done before, you've broken a record. So give my baby some extra accolades, please, and thank you.
Definitely.
Now, the Algerian boxer, we got to talk about it. Amain, help me pronounce that, Khelif. Khelif.
Welcome back to the Big Weekend Show. Olympic outrage is growing. Now, not one, but two boxers who failed gender tests will be leaving Paris with medals. One of them, a Taiwanese national, won and will move on into the semifinals. After the match, the fighter who lost appeared to make an X with her fingers. Meanwhile, the Algerian boxer who also failed the gender test is also guaranteed an Olympic medal. The president of the IOC weighing in. Listen.
How can somebody being born, raised, competed, and having a passport as a woman cannot be considered a woman?
Nobody cares. Oh boy, there was boxing women in the Olympics. Everybody saw it. Everybody was discussing. There was actually two guys. There was a guy, I think, also from Taiwan that was boxing. I mean, genetically, they went through like DNA tests and reports, and they had elevated levels of testosterone. I don't know. This world is so blurry right now that we don't really we can't say what's a male or a female, but generally science does, and the science was off so much that they were disqualified from the world championship boxing, but the Olympics they let them box. I saw the person, that's what we'll call them. I saw the person fight, and if I was on the street in Detroit and I saw that lady fighting a woman, I would jump in, because it was a stark difference, like visuals, like you can literally see the difference. Like, it's a difference between men and women. Muscle mass, the way they carry it, the way they look, the way they talk, their voices. I don't care what everybody identifies as, but if science say you was a man, like 2,000 years from now when they dig up your bones or whatever, they're gonna dig me up. I might be a transgender or anything I want to be, identify as what I want to. But when they dig me up and they look at my bones, they'll be like, that is a male. And I feel like it's the same thing with that young person that it was just a travesty. And people told me, oh, well, the person lost 8 fights or something. I mean, shit, if we want to go down that route or whatever, so if you lose to a female, you a male, because, I mean, you're a female yourself, because I guarantee you, if you get Clarissa Shields to fight a bunch of these guys out here, she gonna whoop up a lot of these guys in the world, but that don't make her a man. She still is a female. And it's the same thing with this. Like, I couldn't believe it. When I saw the Olympics, I was like, really? This is what we doing? Like you have to see it. If y'all look at the video, y'all tell me what y'all think. I mean, she delivering like one-punch knockouts to start off fights or whatever. Woman, like, I've never been hit this hard before in my life. And a lot of times, female boxers, they will spar with men. But even when a female boxer spars with a man is a man, and he's not going to give his full all. But this person definitely was giving a full all and just beating the brakes on some of these women took his way all the way to a gold medal. How is that even fair? It's like, we're not going to put Noah Lyles in there against Sha'Carri Richardson, because that is a male, that's a female. Some sports and some things in life just don't translate. And this is one of them. And I don't understand, like, the way they just took it, and they almost made it like, it was like, at first it was like, I ain't gonna say comical, because when I'm watching it, I'm like, this
it's actually sad
right,
and painful to watch.
This is an assault right here. This is an assault in the ring that's being sanctioned by the Olympic Committee. And
That's why they tried to distract us with ray gun. Toe touch, toe touch.
Right, toe touch, toe touch.
Kangaroo bunny rabbit.
But
that was a good distraction from that brutal attack that we had to witness. But I mean, I understand identifying. I understand believing that a mistake was made when you were born and you were supposed to be something else. But I also understand accepting who you are and understanding the laws of physics, nature, and just life.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't want it to happen to your mother or your daughter, don't do it. Treat people how you want to be treated, and treat people how you want people that you love to be treated. So if in your mind you believed that if this was your daughter against this person, if this was your mother against this transgender person, that you would be okay with that, then yeah, right. You were not wrong for the fight that you fought to win your gold medals. But if you don't want somebody that you love in your family to deal with what you put that other woman through, then you were wrong, and you know you were. Like, would you want your mama going against you? Right. Your sister, your daughter going against you? Exactly. You shouldn't have did that to somebody else's daughter. You shouldn't have hit them that hard. You had the right to hold back some of that power.
Right.
You didn't have to do her like that.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough. It was a tough watch. But, you know, we wrap up another Olympics. It was a great United States. We tied with China for the most gold medals. Obviously, United States, because we're the greatest nation in the world. Greatest athletes. So we had the most overall total medals. And we look forward to 2028 in Los Angeles.
And to see Kamala again.
Definitely.
Speaking of things that should not have happened, Bow Wow finally breaks his silence and speaks up and accuses, now these are accusations, Diddy and Jermaine Dupri of rape.
The Hollywood industry is just continuing to get exposed. We already understand everything that the dealer has done to his victims like Justin Bieber and Usher. But now we have another that is coming out the woodworks. Bow Wow. I used to watch this kid when I was very young. What was that? Like Mike. You feel what I'm saying? Making dunks. But unfortunately back then I didn't know everything that went on behind closed doors when you're being put in the mainstream media. And Bow Wow was exposed to a lot of things at a young age. And in this video we end up finding out that he was actually forcefully handled from the behind at around like 15 or 16 years old due to this industry right here. Is wicked, to say the least. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Title of the video is Bow Wow reveals how the industry broke him and Jermaine Dupri and Diddy passed him around. Let's see what's going on.
He was about 12.
This is Jermaine Dupri right here.
He couldn't go with me when I go to the club, right? So, dude, them was outside the club, on the street, dancing for this nigga in a truck. This nigga has been scarred ever since. Exactly.
I felt like there's other people who could look up and look at my situation and how I handled it, and maybe that they can use what Bow Wow did and implement that into their real life, and maybe that they can gain the courage to finally get over that. Yeah, man, it was a rough little ride, man. As a kid, I told my mama, man, I never want to go back over there again. I never want to see that in my life.
This Diddy stuff is getting outrageous, and it's like he had a hand in everything that's bad about
and corrupt.
Right, bad about hip hop. Like, I mean, you think, like we said, all the way back into, like, his history is so long with terrible things. Like, I'm so far a hip hop head. I remember the City College incident with him and Heavy D, and they had a gymnasium, and they was doing a celebrity basketball game, and it was a stampede, and a bunch of people got killed in that. Then we go to the Biggie Tupac thing, and then we go to the J-Lo and Shine, and they're in the club, and it's a shooting there, and then you know the allegations with him and Usher and Justin Bieber, and we don't even want to speak on the Cassie stuff because we all seen the video. It's too tough to watch. It's not something that we like. Can we cancel so many people so fast or whatever? What is the guy doing still sticking around? What is he even here for? What is he here for?
The only thing that confuses me with Bow Wow, and not Diddy because, you know, he has his rumors, but Jermaine Dupri, and that's only because if someone was your abuser, why would you stay so close to them still? He's still in Atlanta with Jermaine Dupri. he's still appearing on shows with Jermaine Dupri. He is like this with Jermaine Dupri's daughter. It's like Bow Wow and Jermaine Dupri. That's like his uncle, dad, or something. It's like they have a very close-knit relationship, and they're still around each other and have dealings with each other. And Bow Wow still uses his studio and his guidance when producing music. So I'm not saying that Bow Wow is lying, because why would you? This is something that's not going to really boost you. I mean, it's going to put you more in the spotlight, yes, but not in a positive way that may help your career. But I'm not used to that. Like, in any instance, you want to get furthest away from your abuser. Like, all of even Omarion and the B2Ks and the Riz, or who was the one that came forward? Raz-B.
Right.
He's not dealing with them people no more. He's not appearing on shows with those people anymore. So that's the only thing that's got me confused about you, Bow Wow. But hey, we don't know everything about victims of this type of incident. So,
right.
It's shocking.
The thing with Bow Wow that a lot of people don't realize, because I am probably a hip-hop historian. Like, Bow Wow been in the rap game since
self-proclaimed.
Hey, I know stuff.
It's like, nah.
Since he was like 4 or 5 years old. People don't realize that before he even got to Jermaine Dupri, he was actually on death row at 4 or 5 years old. And he appeared on...
What parent would sign their child to death row as a toddler?
As a 4 or 5 year old.
Your baby's still in the T's. He's still in the 5T on death row.
Everybody is money. Is money motivated. So... I
don't even have a kid that I want to sell to a celebrity, but y'all got me ready to have another one.
He came to Jermaine Dupri so early, and a lot of times when people get victimized at such a young age, they don't even realize that they're actually being victimized, because they actually may even think this is how life is supposed to go. This is what happens. So
now the light bulb just went off, and he like, ding, I didn't have to pay that way.
Right.
Let me speak up.
Right. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do that. This is not how relationships should work between mentor and mentee. So it's crazy. It's crazy work. And if they unleashed all the secrets and all the problems that we got in just music in general, just not hip hop, just music in general, because it happens. We got all those Nickelodeon kids, all those Disney kids. It's not a surprise that they all have problems transitioning into being adults. I mean, some of them, the problems we see, we look at it dead in our face, and we might even laugh at it and joke, because you look at somebody like Nick Cannon, who came up in Nickelodeon, which they have all those dirty rumors and secrets coming about them, and we make it like, okay, it's okay for a guy to have 12 to 13 kids by 6, 7 women. That screams of some kind of abuse in itself, like over-sexualizing yourself. Like, that's not normal behavior. That's not something we should champion. So it's so many times in these kids' lives that things happen to them that we either, like you said, we sweep up under the rug, we look at it and we don't pay attention to it, but the signs are there. I mean, look at Jermaine Dupri. His biggest successes were with kid groups. Crisscross, Bow Wow, Jaquan was only like 16,
and very
17.
few female groups.
Light bulb in my head. I didn't even really think about it. Yeah, very few
and the
female
Brat
groups.
was not feminine.
Right, and the Brat, you know, and her
only Escape. No, not what is it?
What?
It wasn't Escape.
What? Silk Times Leather.
No, what was the girl group that he had with the heavyset girl? It might have been Escape.
I don't know. It probably was Escape.
That they did all the groups, the songs together. It was Escape.
Yeah, Escape. Yeah, with Candy and
Yes, I forgot that they were with Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, so Jermaine Dupri, just like Diddy, has his hands in a lot of hip hop history. Especially, he was one of the first.
In total, he had 3 groups.
Right. He was one of the first people to really bring Atlanta to the forefront. He was like one of those first.
Oh wait, did he have Total or did Diddy have Total?
I think they kind of like was
shared them
back and forth using or whatever. Because remember, Total, which says a lot.
I'm gonna leave that.
Right.
I'm gonna stop.
So when we look at some of this stuff, it kind of hurts us, because we like, wow, we were actually witnesses to things that probably should have never happened, or things that behind the scenes.
One thing I never understood growing up, and I'm gonna act like I don't know the artist's name, so I don't need you to tell me the artist's name. But I never understood why, when this artist came about with sexual abuse cases, settlements could happen. Now, I'm not about to dispute the legal system, but I just never thought that made sense. Like, if Macaulay Culkin, I still don't want to know the artist's name, but I'm acting like I don't know it. Whatever the artist's name was, if Macaulay Culkin say you touched him on your roller coaster at your playhouse, at your house, at your mansion,
right?
How was it you was able to pay money and now you didn't touch them? Other kids come forward.
Money talks.
They say you touched them. You able to pay. So nobody goes to jail.
Nobody.
Not even the false, the false accusing parents or nobody. No CPS gets called. Like, I never understood that system of our legal system.
Money makes a lot of your problems go away. It's been going on since the beginning of time. Like,
but how after we all know what happened, and now as you notice, those things aren't happening now that social media is so prevalent because all of the information gets put out there, and somebody has to prosecute.
I don't know. I feel like right now, as things is going on in the world, that 20 years from now, when we hear about it, we're going to look back and be like, I couldn't believe this was going on right up. Look at Epstein. Epstein was plugged in with everybody. All the biggest leaders in the world, entertainers, they all went to Epstein Island. And this is not that far long ago. And we see the list, and quite honestly, a lot of people on that list, they not canceled. A lot of people on that list are still thriving, still in music, still in industry, still in politics, and they basically, let's just be honest, we feel like he mysteriously passed away or whatever, which nobody can either confirm or deny is even a possibility that somebody was supposed to be under 24-hour watch, suicide watch, and they just so happen to unalive themselves. So it's stuff like now, probably another 10 years or whatever, we'll find out what really was going on.
Because if Diddy was doing this, or even R. Kelly, way back then when that particular artist, whose name I can't remember, was able to pay off Macaulay Culkin and all them other kids that said that they touched them, they would have been able to pay this off. And we'd have never heard about it. But now with social media, with all of the different TV programs that's quick to put up a documentary, it's no way to hide it anymore. Like, we didn't have access, only the bigwigs controlled what we saw on TV. Yeah. But now, thanks to YouTube, Tubi, and Netflix, and all these other independent streaming sites, thanks to the internet, we're able to see these things, and they cannot be hidden anymore. You can't just pay a fine or pay off the judge and the whole everybody, and now all of a sudden you didn't rape somebody. That can't happen no more. So now it's getting real, and I've always questioned that.
Yeah, it is a different world we live in because you can reach out, you can. These things, they spread like wildfire now. Like when you have something come out now, whatever, before
it's got 1 million views.
Right, before the big wigs can get it, pulled from being aired on 60 Minutes or aired here or aired on Crime or Dateline or something like that, and getting it pulled. Now it's like you drop that on YouTube, or whatever, it's got 100 million views before you can get a hold of it.
And Google out trying to get you more information about it.
Exactly, Google just and don't just start talking about GPT AI technology now. You just yell at them and say, "Hey, tell me everything that ever happened to this person, every person they ever slept with."
They your own little private eye investigators.
Exactly, they'll tell you everything. So yeah, it's a crazy world. I don't really say things like I pray for this and I pray for that, but at the end of the day, I wish it was a better understanding amongst people how to treat other people.
Speaking of, we love to talk about what goes on in Detroit, but this is a story that is not in my favor. It's not something that I wish I had to share with you all today. But the Detroit driver that filmed himself hitting a biker. I'm going to warn y'all, this video may be a little disturbing. I believe some of it may be blurred, but
This one is really hard to even wrap your mind around. We're talking about a guy who pulls out his camera while he's driving and just goes right for a guy on a bicycle, completely crushing him. And Detroit police saying tonight there is no way that this was an accident.
Why? And then you're going to film it and post it.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. We live in a time where it's like this is the most self-reporting, self-snitching generation I've ever seen in my life. Because let's just say he didn't record it.
We wouldn't have
post
known.
it. We'd have never known. He would have came up with a story or some kind of lie. Oh, I didn't see him. Oh, it was an accident. It was this and that. But it's so plain and simple to see that it's like, okay, at this point, we just want to know how much jail time we about to give you, because you earned it.
No, I bet you they're going to try to go into the crazy house, because why else would you do something so retarded? But we also live in a world where you can be overweight,
yeah,
go to the hospital, And now you can't get back into your house because you're a fire hazard and your landlord won't let you back in.
Regardless to how she got to 825 pounds, she's here, and it is a sad situation. Now, the hospital where she is at in Wayne, Corewell Health, Wayne, they want to discharge her, saying her condition has stabilized, possibly within the next 24 hours. However, her size has been deemed a fire hazard, meaning she can't return home to her apartment. It's a real possibility in the next 48 hours, she won't have anywhere to go.
So an 825-pound woman denied entry to her home, declared a fire hazard.
Yeah, when you think about like situations like this, because I mean, it's almost like, I don't say we want to say we make light of these situations, but we actually have whole reality shows. What is it, My 600-Pound Life, where people that ate themselves into positions where they can barely move around, they can barely take care of themselves. I mean, it's some sort of maybe mental issue.
Eating disorders are real, because
Right,
I believe I
yeah.
suffer from one from time to time.
Right. So when you see something like that, and can you really blame the
Depending on the food.
Can you blame the landlord? Can you blame whoever owned the property? Because if something does happen and it's time to try to get this person out of the house, how many people was it that got them out? It was, 15 people if in the times of emergencies, we don't have 15 people to try to go into a burning building or a place that's falling apart to try to go save this person without, 15 lives for one.
But can you really discriminate like that? Because that's like saying because I don't have legs and can't walk out of my own apartment or my own house, I don't deserve it.
It's true, but
Since I don't have arms and can't open the door. I mean, what you trying to say?
It's a liability issue. Like, the thing is, if the building burns up and that person perishes in the building, we're a litigation society. So people would be like, oh, well, you didn't make it easily accessible for this 825-pound person to be able to get
Just
out.
Put a slide in the house, a real big one. All they gotta do is roll out the bed, slide on out the house.
They're gonna oil up the slide.
Oil
like,
up the slide, slide on out the house.
Down. Like,
Scoop.
keep scooping. I'm with the landlord. I understand. Like, maybe they should have housed this 825-pound woman. Y'all heard. 825-pound woman. Maybe they should have just put her in the garage somewhere, and then that way you just open the garage door and she just roll out that way. But walking through a house, I don't think it's gonna work.
Trust me, in a fire, I believe that'll be the motivation she needs to get up and walk, or run. That may be the first time in her life that she runs. But
Or
they gonna
maybe
do
she
it.
just grab some marshmallows and start eating them too.
Those are just the views and opinions of Jay. We don't think you should get marshmallows.
Don't get marshmallows in the fire.
But nah, I obesity runs in my family. It be running like neck and neck with me, but I be beating it. But yeah, it's not fun being in that predicament. It's really not fun being discriminated against.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation.
And another thing I can't stand is how we can't have nothing. So to the thieves that stole a van from the Mercury Nonprofit Education Project, what's wrong with y'all? Look at this video.
It's not a newer car. It's not a sports car.
It's an older model van. However,
it's what the van does for our company and our organization.
Mercy Education Project, a nonprofit organization that provides educational programs for girls and young women.
Anywhere from 20 girls a day. So you're talking about up to 80 girls per week are really relying on this transportation.
Monday, that van that means so much was stolen.
Why would y'all do that? What? Why? Who raised you?
Exactly.
In the words of T.K. Kirkland, the comedian, who raised y'all? This is a non-profit trying to help people. You couldn't find nobody else better to steal from. That's what your mama should say as soon as they see you. Smack you on the face. You couldn't find nobody else better to steal from, Junior. What you got to say about these fools?
It's a crazy world. At some point, it used to be like, it was like churches was off limits, or people that are helping people in the community were literally off limits. Now these things, I'm pretty sure this van had a big old sign on the side or something that said it's a Mercy Education Project van to help people.
I don't know why I said Mercury. I probably missed the old movie theater, but yes, Mercy.
Right. So it's almost to the point where, like, why are we picking these targets? Trust me, I don't believe in being a thief. I don't believe in stealing. But if you are going to steal from rich people or whatever. Don't steal from poor people. I mean, I'm in the spirit of Robin.
Come on, be Robin Hood.
Right, it's crazy.
Don't just be hood.
Right. They just all hood or whatever. No thought process behind anything. It's like these are the people that's actually stealing that van are probably the same people they
That
trying to
need
help.
it.
So it's
Yo,
crazy.
now how your mama gonna get to where she got to go?
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle sometimes, but
Yeah.
we got to do better.
But shout out to somebody who actually is doing better and encourages you all to share your stories of the good that you're doing in your community. My Neighborhood Matters program. See this video.
Neighborhoods Day is a day that literally changes Detroit.
Grab your chainsaws, your wheelbarrows, and get inspired. It's time to clean up for Arise Detroit's annual Neighborhoods Day.
Now, the campaign invites neighbors to share stories, essays, photos, videos of good acts, and they will post them on their website. Y'all, I be needing this website because sometimes I need to see some positive. We got people stealing vans. We got people just hitting people for no reason. And I see if you'd have been like, this is my ex that lied and cheated on me. I mean, you just random person. So it's good to finally see people that are promoting positive. That is a business that I actually own, an LLC of mine, positively promoting Detroit. So my Neighborhood Matters program is here to do that. So go read some stories, go like it, subscribe. This that deal.
Definitely. It's always good to give back. Times I've done charity work, it actually warms your heart to see like the neighborhoods coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like really people helping people with, and a lot of times we don't get the spotlight because, you know, we have a lot of stories that's got a lot.
Here's your chance to spotlight yourself.
Exactly. And other people can see it. You know, maybe people will learn from what you're doing and, you know, they'll go out.
Be inspired.
And help other people. So you can appreciate it.
Now, you know we always have to highlight that restaurant here in Michigan, preferably Detroit. So, we have Le Supreme. I feel different. Le Supreme. Here go the picture. Now it's a semi-upscale, $50 to $100 per person. Now it's upscale. This up there. This mostly French meals. It's located at I don't know what that sound was, but it's located at 1265 Washington Boulevard. And where? Detroit. I'm trying to bring more energy. Y'all let me know how it's going after this show, because I don't want y'all to be falling asleep listening to me. So it's in Detroit.
Definitely.
1265 Detroit. So yeah, make sure y'all support them, show them love. Heard in the D. You know, if y'all want to mention that we told y'all about it, do that.
Definitely.
We wouldn't be mad. We'd be glad.
Exactly. We support all businesses in Detroit, no matter what. It's one of those things that, you know, brings the community together. Everybody gets happy when, you know, keep a dollar, spend a dollar amongst the people. So, you know, all the money that circulates in the city of Detroit, it circulates around. It helps everybody in the community.
Help spread the love
of
greatness.
Yeah, in this economy, for sure.
So that has been our Heard in the D. We have enjoyed spending time with y'all. We hope that y'all enjoy spending time with me. Let me know how y'all feeling the new loud energy, because, yeah, it's a lot. So if y'all don't like it, let me know. I'll stop. But I'm your girl, Simona Lisa.
J Reed 313. You catch me in the streets.
I ain't in the streets. I be in the sheets. I'm about to go take a nap right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.